7:06, and we are kicking it off. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm good, MC2. Thank you. How are you doing this morning?
Honestly, it's Thursday.
It is Thursday.
Counting down more and more of the days until we get more of a longer break.
So Memorial Day, is that what you're looking forward to?
Yep.
Yeah, I think Memorial Day is going to be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to the chance to head up to Feria and it kind of falls on that same weekend. It's the traditional kickoff to summer for most Americans, although I think I would argue here that Feria serves as an unofficial kickoff to summer for us here in Rota because, as XO was saying just a minute ago, if you head down to the beaches now, people already think it's summer. It's warm.
Oh, yeah.
It's beautiful out there. It's just a great time to be out there and enjoying it, especially because you can get out there now and find your spot. You can find a parking spot. You can get a reservation at a restaurant. It's like the perfect time to be in Rota. The weather's beautiful, and you can actually enjoy it without everybody else trying to enjoy it with you.
Yeah, June and July is going to come around. I remember my first year here, I was like, oh man, I live 5 minutes from the beach. This is going to be great.
Yep.
And then it's just like, I have nowhere to hang out from the beach.
Yeah, can't even get out your front door sometimes. Nope. It feels like.
People take up my parking spot, like just right on the road. I'm just like, how do I get into my own house?
Yeah, so but I do have a rule for this radio broadcast. We're not going to talk about June. June is something that's not going to happen for, I don't know, probably another 2 or 3 years. So I'm just going to ignore the month of June for the next month and a half.
I mean, hey, as long as it takes, right? Who's really going to say with all this time dilation that we were talking about off the air? But I know we have some more guests you'd like to introduce.
We do, yeah. So this is my second to last show, which is why I don't want to talk about June. And I thought it would be fun to bring on my XO and CMC. So we got Commander Justin Jennings, got CMC Donald Alvarado, because regardless of all the cool stuff I've had the chance to be a part of, I've only done a little bit here. It has been the efforts and the leadership and the support of the triad that have really made this installation into such an amazing installation. So I thought it'd be fun to have them on here to, I don't know, kind of talk about what it's like to be a part of this installation as a team, not just the individuals that we are, and some of the cool stuff that we've done and some of the stuff that we're excited to do over the next couple of years for these guys.
Yeah, I'm excited. We're going to get into talking with it soon. But first, we have some Motley Crue with Dr. Feelgood. And we are back with the entirety of the Rota triad. I know we kind of hopped right into some Dr. Feelgood there. But CMC, XO, how are you doing this morning?
Yeah, doing well this morning. It's a little earlier than usual for me, but happy to be here.
I guess anytime you got Motley Crue before 7:30, it's a good morning.
That's right.
Likewise, right? So same thing here. I'm on my second cup of coffee already. Just want to make sure that I make it on time.
Honestly, yeah.
It's good to have
I
you guys
understand that. So I know we had a lot go on the last couple of weeks, especially the month of April has been a real fun event.
April, so it's funny, after the holidays, it feels like there's a little bit of a downtime with some of the major events that we have, and then April just kicks it off, and from there it's nonstop through the end of summer. And the big thing, of course, was Feria for us, where we had the chance to be a part of the lighting ceremony, the alumbrado. We had the chance to do the flag raising ceremony, and to enjoy Feria. But I think you guys actually had the chance to enjoy a little bit more of Feria away from the official part of it. CMC, what was your favorite part of going to Feria this year?
Oh, don't get me started on here, Skipper. So
that's the whole point of the radio show, to get us started.
I had more fun, I would say, more than my kids, right? So I've experienced Feria before growing up in Philippines, but I think it's different here.
Yeah.
And what made it different is really dresses for the girls and the ladies. And it's just a fun event.
It really is. It's cool. It's one of my favorite. So walking, I think, XO, when we were walking along, I could hear both of our wives, like, pointing out all the different dresses and the colors and the new styles and shapes, and it's really fascinating, and I thought it was fun. Yeah, I love it.
It was the dresses were absolutely fantastic. The part of it that I couldn't get over was the fact that when you go over to the games and rides side of Feria, it was like bad county fair meets formal attire. It was just this strange dichotomy of people dressed up really fancy and riding kind of shady rides. It was it was real strange.
I think well, we've been lucky. We never make it past about the halfway point of the arcade because the kids just kind of wear out as we try and stop at all the games and play as much as we can. So we've never been on the rides themselves. So I didn't know. So are they wearing the formal dress as they're on those rides? That has got to be such a great sight to see that happen.
Yeah, my daughter was riding the pirate ship ride, and at the back of each side of the pirate ship, so that swinging pendulum ride, was like a cage that you could stand in,
Yep.
and she's wearing her full Feria dress, and she said every time that it kind of hit the apex, her dress would go flying up, and she had a ball.
That's awesome.
It was awesome watching.
Yeah, I think so. For those who are here for the 4th of July, I think you'll have the chance to enjoy that pirate ship again, because that is usually on the ball field for our big Independence Fest.
Honestly, it's really good fun. I am a big fan of roller coasters and zero gravity rides. So like I got into the cage too, me and the wife, and I decided to jump and kind of let gravity take control for a minute. I'm just like, all right, this is it. And that was my whole experience basically. I just went on all the rides and played with a little bit of bumper cars with the wife.
Yeah, I didn't make it to the bumper cars. I actually like the other side of Feria a little bit more. I like just kind of doing we damos un paseo. We just take a walk up and down the boulevard and see all the casetas, and every now and then you see someone who's hired to perform either flamenco dancing or sevillanas, and watching people who are professionals do that. It's incredible, especially when I think about how badly I do sevillanas. But then seeing all like the dance floors just fill up and the music constantly spilling out of those casetas, it's such a cool experience that I've only had the chance to enjoy here. I think it's wonderful.
Honestly, I enjoyed the horse dances. Like, I don't know if you were able to see them like do
I
their
did not.
sideways trots.
Yeah.
It was actually really impressive. Just as all 4 of them in sync. Just sideways
That's cool.
sideways step, and then down to the street.
Yeah, I'm really hoping that we can make it up to the Feria in Jerez, because from what I understand, that's the pinnacle of the equestrian portion of the Feria season. So, love to be able to do that.
Man, we'll put it on the list. I know there's a couple of trips coming up from MWR going up to Sevilla, I believe.
I think Sevilla's this weekend. Their Feria, I think, is this weekend, and that is the pinnacle of Feria here in southern Spain. And I don't know how you even get into those things, because I've seen the lines and just the way the trains and the metros and everything are just packed with people as they're waiting to get into the Feria grounds themselves. The casetas are a little bit different. You have to be a member of a caseta and be invited to them there. But I imagine that's just an experience into itself, making it up to Feria in Sevilla.
Really big reason to come down here to Spain, honestly. Just enjoy the culture.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you don't see this anywhere else in Spain. Andalusia is where it is for Feria.
And I know that we've actually started trying to make our own little culture here in Rota too with the Kraken games.
Yeah, so I'll defer to the expert on the Kraken games. XO, how were the Kraken games?
Oh man, the Kraken games were a good time, and MWR and Fleet and Family put on an amazing event, and they really tried to tie in all of the games from the Netflix show Squid Games, minus the death, of course. But they did it in a fun way, and they also tied in important mind, body, mental fitness lessons that were kind of in a way that people could understand them and fun. So that was a lot of fun. We went and challenged everybody over there, and I would like to put a call out to any other command out there that's listening to come out to the next Kraken Games and take on the NAVSTA Rota team, because we did pretty well and had a good time. So,
So I think what I enjoyed about it, they did an event. I have never seen the Squid Games, so I had no idea what was going to happen. So red light, green light was the very first game that they did. And I thought it was hilarious, number one, watching this slice of Rota population and the different strategies that they had to try and defeat the red light, green light situation. And then afterwards, they pulled them up and talked through the stress and the decision making and what it did to their bodies physiologically, what it did to them mentally, and how they went after it. And it was a really cool way to wrap all those things up. So I think I'm really looking forward to the next time we have the Kraken Games. Hopefully, like you said, we get some more of the commands out there. I think it's some great tools for their sailors to be able to take back with them to their work centers.
They're probably really good for all the ships that are coming in too. I know the Roosevelt just came home and felt like they've been gone for forever. But
well, it's funny that was where the time dilation came in, because we thought it felt like we had just seen some of those folks yesterday, but they were gone for 5 months. And this is part of a new model that the Desron 60 has, where we're sending some of the ships back to go through Comp 2X. And for those who don't know what Comp 2X is, it's a bear. It is a massive certification exercise with a carrier strike group that's led by a different carrier strike group. So they were off the East Coast just getting put through the ringer with a strike group. It is a lot of hard work, and it is different heading back to the other side and going across the pond the other way to take part in these and be away from your family under that constant stress. So they did an amazing job, and it's part of the model that we're going to see going forward for these ships.
And honestly, keep up to date with that too, because there's going to be a lot of changes, a lot of information coming out, and got questions. Ask some people who came off the ship. Roosevelt went through some 5 months of fun.
Gone for about 5 months. Yeah, it's a long time to be away from home. And then they got back, and a couple of days later they were right back underway. It's unrelenting here, and which is why stuff like the Kraken games I think is such a great tool, because the op tempo for our ships here is unparalleled throughout the rest of the Navy. The highest op tempo is here with the 5 ships that we have in Rota. So every chance that we have to give our sailors some tools to be able to work through the stress of that deployment, any chance we have to help our families, to deal with the separations, with the uncertainty that comes with these kinds of deployments, I think it's something I will always stand behind. We'll throw every possible tool and opportunity we can to help our folks here.
And was there anything that came up over the past month that really caught your eye? Any big events here in Rota that might have made a splash?
So I had my first chance to do the color run this year, and the color run was absolutely fantastic. I remember it was a little bit rainy leading up to it, so there was some concern that it was going to be too cold, too rainy. But man, once we got the first group running out there, seeing all the colors just kind of explode into the sky around the kids, it was a lot of fun. And then I got to get up on stage and do the countdown for the big color run picture. One of the coolest moments in retrospect, because when I was standing on stage, it was just this fog of brown and gray coming at me, and I'm coughing, trying not to swallow too much chalk. But the team got a really cool picture of what it looked like as the color exploded into the sky. It was awesome. That was a lot of fun. The kids who were there all just had a blast. All the color on. I was washing stuff out of my hair for a couple of days. It was in my ears. It was
that makes sense, honestly.
It was a lot of fun though. That was a blast.
And speaking of, I know you were also doing You were a judge for one of the STEM expos.
Yeah. There's nothing more fulfilling than judging little kids. Sorry, but it was cool seeing all of the different ideas that kids had for using the scientific method, for developing these hypotheses, for challenging them. But XO, you were there for that too. I only did 1 day. You got to do 2 days. What was some of the stuff you saw?
Yeah, the STEM Expo over at the school was kind of fun. Just seeing how these, again, like you said, Skipper, the ideas that these kids had for projects and science fair projects and the like, and then kind of talking to them about their hypotheses and why they thought things would happen the way they would, and then they either panned out or they didn't. And to see that kind of learning process occur was super cool, and the kids were so excited to show off all their hard work, and it was a really fun event. So I definitely will be a return judge next year, and maybe next year we'll bring CMC along. But it was a good time, and the school put on the school and the students put on amazing science expo, STEM expo.
Yeah, it was one of the probably really good ways to finish out Month of the Military Child. We had a lot going on, so honestly, now that we're here in May,
I know
we got a lot more still going on.
We do have a lot more going on. But the one thing about April that I forgot to talk about, it's the first time that my family and I had front row seats for some of the processions as part of Semana Santa. And that was really cool. My wife and I were just kind of walking around through downtown and stumbled upon one by the castle. And then the very next night, we had dinner reservations. Unbeknownst to us, it was right through the heart of another procession. So different colors, different music, different bands. It was really cool being able to see that. I don't know, CMC, did you catch any of the processions this year?
Yes, sir. Great experience and a lot of familiar how they do that. They do it here. Similarity how it is in Pacific or especially in Philippines. So my wife Anastasia and the girls enjoyed it, and they were asking a lot of questions, and then I have to validate it. When I had the CMC Super Show with our chaps Monka, right? So
Yeah.
he did educate me on how they do it here in Spain, and how notorious Philippines is on certain events that they do it, and they stopped doing it here in Spain. So which is really a good thing to know. So.
Very cool.
Yeah, very cool. And I think that's going to be a good little transition to get into some music, because I know we have some unfortunate news. I know you said you don't want to talk about it, but we don't have to talk about the future. We could talk about your past and do a little bit of reflections. So coming up, we are going to do just that after some Alice Cooper and No More Mr. Nice Guy. Shout out to PAO. Good old Alice Cooper. And now we have returned back to kind of reminisce, look back. Because I know you don't want to talk about the future.
I am an old guy, so reminiscing is kind of built into my normal daily routine now.
I mean, even us young guys, like, I still talk about high school, right? Talk about college.
I can't remember high school. So long ago. Alice Cooper was a young man back then.
Oof. But yeah, so we just wanted to really kind of take it back. Like, what happened? Like, what do you look back on that you might, take with you in the future from Rota?
Man, that's a hard question because it's everything. Speaking of time dilation, I remember the very first time I was on the radio, it was with Captain Jumbo Baird as he was getting ready to turn over command to me. And I vividly remember that I was terrible on the radio. I had no idea what I was doing. I was uncomfortable with it. And then I was watching him just have the conversation with the MC and talking through everything that he had been through. And I can't believe that almost 3 years have passed. It's pretty astonishing how quickly this all has gone by. And there's so much. Depending on what I'm doing, I can see everything through just a slightly different lens. If I'm sitting in my office, I think about some of the tasking that we had, some of the decisions that we had to make, some of the ways that we coordinated with everybody. If I'm out on the flight line, I can reflect back on some of the major evolutions that we had, whether supporting operations that might be coming or supporting operations that were underway. If I'm down by the pier, I think about welcoming Oscar Austin as our 5th DDG and all the work that went into that, or just the chance to get to know some of the leadership and crews on the ships that are out there and the amazing missions that they are accomplishing under some of the most demanding and stressful circumstances that you can possibly think of. I think about all the ship CEOs who've already come and gone and what they accomplished with their ships. I don't know. It's really hard to pin it on one thing, but what I will probably best remember is the way my family's grown. I mean, I've had the chance to watch my 2 kids grow into just amazing little people, and I think back to what they were like as they kicked off their first school year here, and now I'm getting ready to watch them get rung out at the end of the year as part of the bell ringing ceremony. So there's a song for those who don't have kids, don't go to school, but they have this farewell song that they sing at the end of the school year every year. And I don't know if I mentioned this last time, but it's something that can be very emotional because when you have kids in the military and you're constantly uprooting them, so every 2 or 3 years, I make them say goodbye to all their friends and throw them to a new location where they have to find a new rhythm, make new friends, and build themselves back up. It's hard. It's really hard. And even though I did it growing up as a kid, it's hard doing it as a parent too. So it can be an emotional thing, especially when you think about what's coming in a couple of years or in 2 years or in 1 year. So it's going to be really tough this year when it's for my kids as they sing that song. But that will be personally the thing that I carry with me the longest out of this job. But professionally, this has been the most rewarding job that I've had in the Navy. And I've had some pretty incredible jobs. I've had the chance to be the navigator on an aircraft carrier that the distance that we covered was almost twice around the world. We got turned around 3 different times to support tasking. We were away from home for 330 days. And I worked for some amazing leaders who showed me what it was to be able to lead a crew through incredibly demanding and adverse conditions. And I brought us home safely. And I will always be proud of that. I had command of a helicopter squadron in Hawaii. and the way that they were able to perform was phenomenal. And I had a great triad there too that I had the chance to work with. But this job, I think, because it's so different, it is the most rewarding job that I've had in the Navy. But you guys have been in the seat now in CNIC for a little while, and I think this is the first time in CNIC for both of you guys. So, what do you think, EXO? How is this job compared to some of the other ones you've had in the Navy?
So my career was incredibly one-dimensional, as I grew up and spent the first 19 or so years in the MPRA community, flying P3s and P8s. So this is completely foreign to me, no pun intended. But the constant barrage of different challenges kind of keeps you on your toes as a leader.
Yeah.
Every day it's something else, and I think the part of my brain that still has ADHD probably appreciates that and thrives in those conditions. But no, it's been great. But sir, I want to anchor real quick on your family and my fondest moment of our year-ish so together had to be when Sec State flew through, and Elliot got a personal tour of the Secretary of State's aircraft while still in his wet swim trunks. That was probably the moment from our year together that I will never forget in my entire life.
Yep.
So that was awesome.
That is a cool picture. The Secretary of the State was so gracious too, the way that he just. It was a lesson in humility and just the way you conduct yourself as one of the senior-most leaders in the United States government. He saw that my son was eyeballing his airplane and said, "Hey, you want a tour?" So the Secretary of State took my son to give him a tour of the airplane, and I think he would have done that for any kid who was on the flight line that day. Just so happened that it was my son that day. But I will always remember that one. The Secretary of State was incredible. That day.
And EXO and CMC, while I still have you on the air, I just want to make sure that I can pick your brains just a little bit. What are you going to pick up from the CO? What leadership, what type of activities, what have you learned from him?
I don't think this show is long enough to be able to cover all of that, but let's give it a shot.
It's funny you mentioned that. You asked that, right? So last night I was actually trying to, what can I talk about since this is going to be second to the last CEO's radio show, right? I would say only thing that I can say about Skipper, it's always a privilege having a great leader. But one thing that I can say is he's too nice. Comparing to my previous CEOs that I work with, definitely too nice. It's hard to replace him, and that demeanor that he got, calm. I mean, we have syncs a few times in a day, and we talk about things. And when he's upset on things, but not the whole suite, executive suite, or the whole floor will hear him, right? I've worked with some commanding officers where the whole bridge or the whole building will hear when he's upset, but not with Capt Suarez. So, which is a good thing to really work with and experience. So, it's not negative. It's more so on the compliment.
Too
But
nice.
I would say, joking. I would say next job, sir. I don't think you're going to be stressed out. It will be challenging. It's a different kind of challenge.
It is, yeah.
But it's definitely less deck plate. Less involvement, but more so on mentorship. So good luck on that.
Yeah, it's the worst part about staying in the Navy this long. You get further and further away from the chance to have the daily interactions with the sailors and the missions that they perform. It is the hardest part about this job.
Oh, all right. No, so I think I don't know. I feel like you take something from every leader that you work with throughout your career, good, bad, or otherwise. But I think your calm demeanor, regardless of the situation, and kind of seeing how thoughtful that you are with your processes and your decision making, is definitely something that I'm going to take away from working for you, because I can be impulsive at times with my decisions or emotional, and I feel like I have picked up on how to do that less from you.
So for anybody who's listening out there, I paid them to say these things about me. But I will say, if you are in a position of leadership or you are aspiring to a position of leadership, one of the things that is indispensable is having people that you trust to be able to talk to. So the number of times that I've walked into one of their offices and closed the door and said, "What the heck is going on with this? What are they thinking?" And then I'm able to just take a deep breath and then have a thought out conversation about it so that we can come to the right decision instead of the easier decision. It is truly indispensable when you are in a position as a leader. So for those who are COs or XOs or CMCs right now, or for those who aspire to those positions, and I hope there's a bunch of you out there, because there is nothing like having the chance to command. Absolutely nothing. It is terrifying and it is incredible all at the same time. But having people that you trust around you, having people who are willing to tell you when you're wrong, who are willing to give you advice when you need it, whether or not you want it, and are willing to listen to you and help you come to those right decisions. It's, absolutely indispensable. So thank you to both of you guys. I'm glad I can do it in public to, the 12 people who are listening right now as everybody gets their kids off to school and they're getting ready to head to work. Thank you guys for providing the chance to vent when I needed it, and then just having the conversation with me afterwards. Or conversely, for being emotional in your response, which validates what I feel on the inside. And then, again, letting me have the chance to talk through those things with you. It's the diverse ideas and perspectives that you bring to this are really the reason that this place works so well. I know that I have an idea of how things work, but that's only one idea, and you guys bring more ideas because you're so good at pulling it from everybody else to help us come to the solutions that work best for everybody here. It's been an absolute pleasure. Yeah. I'm going to miss this.
And so looking ahead too, the new CO coming in, I know we're going to talk about him in a little bit, but like you said, I think the parents who are dropping the kids off want to listen to a little bit more music, and I'm going to carry on because I got some Kansas on deck. And we are back after a little bit of Kansas to carry on with our show. I know we talked about the new CO who is coming in, but he's going to get his entire show here in a little bit. Next
month, we'll do the same thing. I'll bring him in here, and I'll have the chance to introduce him to the Rota community in early June, just about a week before the change of command. But Captain Chimilak is his name. He's coming to us. He's another helicopter guy. He flew HSC, so he flew the other helicopter. But I actually had the chance to spend some time with him out at sea. When I was the navigator, he was the CO of the helicopter squadron on USS Nimitz. So I actually know him. I think he's going to be great for this community, and I'm really excited for him to get here and see what he does to make this place, even just a little bit better.
Head up some of the upcoming local events that I know you like to go up to.
No, man, I'm going to miss so much fun stuff this summer, like the Spanish Navy Ball, the 4th of July reception, the Independence Fest, and there's so many military ceremonies that the Spanish have over the summer that I'm going to miss that were just incredible. The chance to be part of some of these solemn ceremonies that go back centuries. It is probably the coolest military aspect of the job that I've had. I've gone through more pairs of white gloves than I had through the entire rest of my career up until this point, because everything involves white gloves and medals and your formal dress, and you're either standing out in the sun or you're sitting in a cathedral or a chapel that's been around, hundreds of years more than our country has, to celebrate a ceremony that's been part of the Armada for even longer. And the fact that they welcome us to these ceremonies, they want us to be a part of us, they want us to see the way that they celebrate, to be a part of those celebrations. It just reinforces how good this relationship is with the Armada, with our community, with the government of Spain, and how important that is to our strategic position here in Europe. Sorry, that's a tangent. I don't think we were expecting to take with this conversation.
I 100% agree with you. Even like when I go out with the local nationals, a few of my friends who I've made here, like just how friendly we all are with each other, how much they ask questions, I ask them questions, and we get to know a little bit more about the culture, and that exchange is kind of
Yep.
like what I feel is a big importance to that relationship.
It is, and that's part of why we do so well here, because that fabric is knitted so tightly between the two communities, the two civilizations that go back centuries. Spain is one of the first 5 countries to recognize the United States. We only won our Revolutionary War because of the support of Spain. I mean, we exist in great part because of Spain's support. So it's harder to find a longer standing ally than we have in Spain. So I didn't realize just how important it was, how strong it was before I got here, but it's really reinforced over these past 3 years just how important it is. And then you can see the missions, the work that we do from this base here, and understand just how important it is in what we accomplish on both the European and the world stage. It's pretty incredible. Really lucky to have been a part of this whole thing.
And I know we've already talked about Feria already, like
Yeah.
how you were able to go out, we take the
Yep.
pictures, enjoy the actual time and the culture. And I know we have a few more still coming up. Like one of the big ones that I know that you can still attend before you head out is the Feria in Puerto.
Yeah. The Puerto Feria will be one of the last, if not the last, function that I have the chance to perform as ComNav acts with one of the community leaders. So the end of May we'll be out there, and that's a great one. So I recommend you guys come to the lighting ceremony because it's really cool. They have this gigantic bull that they light up, and then there are fireworks. It's on a different level than what they do here in Rota. I love Rota because it's the small community feel to it. I love Puertos because it is just a huge event that they have over in Puerto. And then for all the folks who live on base, sorry, once the Puerto Feria kicks off, you will hear their music for just a couple of nights. So steel yourself for that opportunity.
It's not that bad. I
It's
mean,
not that
those of us
bad.
who've been on a ship, we could sleep through worse, carrier life and all that.
We can, yes.
But I know we have some more like updates coming. I know we have some big days, including Mother's Day. I know we are also going to be talking about Rise and a few school day events.
Yeah, so of course, the most important thing that we have coming up is, at least for me, Mother's Day, where we get the chance to recognize all of the amazing things that our moms do for us. And in the Navy, I think it's unique because of the asks that we put on our moms, and there are a lot of folks who are, it's a challenge. And I know I've asked a lot of my wife over the course of our career. But do you guys have any special plans coming up for Mother's Day? Without revealing too many secrets on
we
air?
kind of do. The same thing. It's like every year, right? Especially on Mother's Day. I feel like I don't recognize or thank her enough than I'm supposed to.
Yeah.
But I do let her know that, hey, babe, here you go. She don't like gifts. She don't like flowers. But at the same time, it has to be. I got to come up with something special every year.
Yeah.
So I know XO. What special stuff you got going on?
Yeah, so
Not disclosing your secrets.
no, of course not. No, so we have we're gonna go out to brunch on Saturday at a restaurant that my wife has really been wanting to go out to brunch at.
Good.
And then Sunday I'm sending her to get a massage. So
Nice.
that's Mother's Day for her. Gonna give her a chance to refresh and feel better. So
Yeah. And I think both of our spouses, in what was once a unique situation but is becoming more and more common, also, wore the uniform or, still part of the reserve. So that's an exceptional challenge to be a mom and on active duty. And for all those who are still wearing the uniform and are moms, thank you. That is an amazing challenge. And what you are able to do, it's incredible. Thank you for the love and the support that you provide your families and your kids.
And we're going to show a little bit more support, too, because we actually have a program coming out of the Fleet and Family Center. I'm sure some of you, hopefully all of you, are familiar with the upcoming Rise Rota Ignite Spouse Enrichment.
Yeah, I've had the chance to visit that a couple of times over the last few years. I think it's a great chance to get the spouses together and to give them some tools to give them a chance to continue to grow personally and professionally. It can be a challenge here because of the employment situation in Rota, Spain, but this is a a great chance to continue to build those tools and to find some fulfillment in a challenging environment here. And then we also have over the next month the field day at the school, which is one of my favorite events. If you have the chance to get out there and volunteer as part of that, it's a end of year thing. It's all the kids blowing off steam after spending all that school year, like getting their brains taxed. It's a lot of fun watching them just have. It's fun for me watching them run around having a bunch of fun and being just wild kids, little feral animals for a little while.
Makes you want to get back out there, relive some of your childhood memories, right?
A little bit, and then I remember how old I am and realize it's better just to sit back and let them have fun, enjoy it through them.
Challenge them to tug of war, see how that plays out. Yeah, realize, I'm a grown adult. These are just a bunch of kids. And then they're just going to pull you to oh, well.
I usually win the first time. After that, it's all, then they take it seriously.
The burst of energy gets us all.
It does.
And with that burst of energy, they can also go over to the Waterfront Fitness Gym because we're having the grand opening here on May 30th.
May 30th, yeah. So I'm really excited about this one. The Waterfront Fitness Center is going to open right across the street from the Fleet Landing area that we have, where we have the coffee shop and some of the counseling services for our ships down in the waterfront. Opening May 30th, it is going to be a 24-hour fitness center. You're going to be able to use your ID card to scan into it. I'm really excited about this one. I think it's another great opportunity for our sailors and anybody with access to the gym to be able to find a place to enhance their mind, body, mental fitness. All the data shows, all the studies show that working out is great for your physical health and your mental health. This is a great chance to find a new place to be able to work out. I hear there's a challenge on that day as well, so I'm going to have to build up a team to help me get through that challenge. We'll see how it goes. I said 250 burpees, but apparently they didn't want to do that one.
Nah, 250 seems like a lot. 25, you got me.
That's all right.
But yeah, I'm excited for that one too because now I don't have to drive all the way across bases to go to the gym.
Yeah.
It's right around the corner.
Yeah, I will
office.
point out how spoiled we are, though, thinking that we have to drive all the way over to the other side of the base.
That's a long
which is
5-minute drive.
Which is only about 5 minutes. I think it's about 10 minutes from CMC's house to the gym, and that's the extent of how far we have to go. Another great thing about this base, it's all here. Everything is here, and we have transportation from almost every part of it. And I know there's some places we can strengthen, but transportation from almost every part of the base to get you to any other part of the base that's got the services and support that you need.
Yeah, and you can also read up a lot about it because I know we have the new coastlines coming out here.
Yeah, I think the last coastline that will be out while I'm here is coming out today, I think. So you should be able to check your newsstands today to find the new coastline.
Here probably within the next hour or two.
Yeah, hopefully. And then as I say every week on my little, skipper spot, check our social media pages, check the coastline, check Vamos. There's all sorts of information in there that can help you find some cool activities that we have coming up over the next couple of weeks. May's got a lot of fun stuff that we can do.
Yeah, no, honestly, we look forward to it. AFN's going to continue to put out that information as it comes out.
Appreciate all that support.
But is there anything else that you wanted to put out, sir?
Nope, except thanks. JJ, Don, thank you for, number one, being here with me on this radio show this morning. I think it was a lot of fun. But more so, thank you for all the support and the leadership and the friendship that you guys have provided since you've been here. I will never be able to thank you enough for that.
Yeah, thank you. It's always been. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you both for coming on the radio show. I know we are going to continue to have some more morning shows with the COs. It might be a little bit different, but, we'll hold them close in our hearts here. One more. But right now, we're going to finish out our final hour with a little bit more music. And, of course, we're going to be talking how love feels.